Welcome to Life on the Moose. Welcome back if you've been here before. How would you put sheathing up on that thing if you're by yourself? You know, at first I had this idea of ropes and hooks, and then all of a sudden it dawned on me, wait a second. I don't think it has to be that difficult. So stay tuned and let me know what you think of this, and let me know how you would have tackled this. In the last video, I mentioned that I forgot to cut the notches at the very last rafter to make room for the fliers. I call those the fliers, the 2x4s that attach to the flown rafter. So I did that yesterday. It was Sunday afternoon here, and I didn't want to bother you guys. I mean, you deserved a day off, right? So I just went ahead and took care of one end. I still have to do that end over there, but I had to run out of 2x4s and I ran out of nails. So I had to rush to town this morning, get some materials, which I did. So I'm good to go. Oh, also, did you notice that one short rafter in the middle? Yeah, I decided to scab that and take care of it as well. Okay, well, let's get going on flying that rafter over there, and then we'll put our 2x4 across the face, and then we can get going on that sheathing. I'm putting these flyers on 24-inch centers. So I'm just going to measure up. Every 24 inches, I'll notch it. I'm gonna have a little piece of 2x4 just so I can make sure I cut a big enough notch and not too big. And I have my saw blade set at about a 1/16 of an inch deeper than a 2x4, so I can just cut right through it. Then I should be able to knock it out with a hammer. I'll check my depth. That one's good. That's good. So how long are these flyers going to be? The finished roof framing from the edge of the barge board here to the edge of the barge board on the other side is exactly 20 feet. Okay, since the building is 16 feet long, the roof is going to be 20. That means 2 feet on each side. But we got to leave 1.5 inches for the barge board on the outside. So that means this is 22.5 inches beyond this rafter. So then I just have to measure back to the second rafter, and that just gets nailed right into the butt of the 2x4. Okay, I have all the flyers installed. You might have seen a couple of braces I have up there in between 4 of those rafters. Yeah, one of them was really wonky and just had a good bow going into it, and the other one next to it had a good bow the other direction. So I straightened them all out by putting those blocks in there. I'm not going to do the rest of it. I just don't think it's mandatory. It's only about an 8-foot span between supports on those rafters, and I think that's just fine. I'm not concerned about that. Once I get sheathing on top and I get probably pine boards underneath, it'll all be solid. It'll never go anywhere. Now I just have to put a 2x4 around the perimeter of the entire roof. Then I'll be ready for sheathing. Or will I? I thought of something while I was up there putting my flyers on. I think there's one more thing I want to do. I don't have to, but it's something I want to do. Do you know what it is? Let me know if you do. Otherwise, you'll probably find out in a few minutes. This is my hand, because I'm going to need a hand. Okay, is this going to work? These are 12 footers, and I'm going to have to cut them to length once I get it up there. So I already fastened the top. That's just a nice 45 degree. And I have a couple of nails started for my top flyers up there. And of course I have a couple of those temporary braces that should take the weight off the bottom. So let's try this. I'm not sure if I can do it. I gotta hold it and nail it at the same time. Let's give it a whirl. Safely, of course. Hold this here if you want to hammer that in. Oh, has to be an easier way, right? Okay, the flown rafter's up, and it wasn't easy. Boy, that took a while. Thank God for editing, or I probably would have lost all my subscribers. It took a while, but it's up nice and square, and I was safe and sound. Okay, let's get going on this one now. Hopefully this one won't take me quite as long. Kind of got a plan figured out now. Flown rafters. Check that one off. Look at that. Last thing I have to do is put a 2x4 at the ends of these rafters, tie everything together, and we'll be just about ready for sheathing. Okay, my flown rafters are still long, but I'm going to take my 2x4, set it against these, draw a line over there, and cut it off. The roof is 20 feet long, so I have two 10-footers. Okay, if you want to hold that end over there, it's the light end, see? It's real light. Just hold one. Okay, I got it. I got it. Okay, I'm just going to start on one end, and that way I can adjust it as I go to make sure I capture every rafter. Otherwise, if I nail one end and then the other, it's a lot harder to get the middle ones aligned. So I just start on one end with one nail, go all the way over, and then I'll come back and put my second nail in. Look at that. Ready to start moving in? I am. Hey, let me show you. There's something behind you here. Let me show you what's going on. So hopefully you can see that buck. It's still there. It feels pretty comfortable. It knows it's not hunting season, I guess. Flown rafters are done. 2x4s are up. We're ready for sheathing. I'm excited. But before I put sheathing up, I am going to do one more thing. Did you figure it out? Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a piece of sheathing on each end of the building first. Because when I'm up there on the roof, or even ladder and weight, I don't want to rack it back and forth sideways like that. But if I put a piece of sheathing, one on each end, and square it up, then it will not be able to move. So first thing in the morning, I'm going to put a couple sheets of OSB up, and then we're going to get that thing sheathed. I promised by the end of this episode, there'll be sheathing all over that roof, one way or another. Even if this episode is 3 hours long, by gosh, we're going to do it. Okay, it won't be 3 hours long. We are level. I'm going to put up two pieces of OSB on this side. One at the very peak, which will come down 4 feet, and then one more, which will come down another 4 feet, and also encompass that seam at the top plate. So that'll stiffen everything up real nice. It's level, and that way it won't shift around when I'm up on the roof moving around. So all I have to do now is find my center point, draw two diagonals to the other corners. That's the beauty of a 12-12 pitch. You've heard me say it. What's not the beauty is getting it up on the roof later on. We'll get there. I put my little notch there for that very top horizontal support. So hopefully this, oh, you okay? All right. Okay, the building is square and solid in every direction. So I feel good about that. So we're ready for OSB. So how are we gonna get OSB up there without it sliding off? It's pretty simple, really. Right there. Trim, the fascia trim right there. Here, let me get up there and show you. So I would put this fascia on later anyway. So I just left it up about 1/2 of an inch. So the OSB can rest against that. So all I have to do is get the first layer up, and then it's going to rest on this board. And then every piece from then on should be able to rest on top of the last one. So we'll see how it works. Okay, the roof is 20 feet long, and the sheathing is 4x8, of course. So I'll do 2 whole ones and then 1/2 of one. And then the next course, I'll stagger the seams. Before I nail anything down, I'm going to put all 3 sheets up and see how it's fitting. Okay, well that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and nail the bottom end of all 3 of them down right now. And then I can start drawing lines and nailing it all on. Okay, I got that second one up okay, but I have to put these clips in between the rafters at the top edge. It just helps support that area between the rafters. So these are little 7/16 inch clips. I'm gonna put 2 of them in every gap between the rafters. That'll help hold it, keep it strong. I've said it before, don't necessarily do what I do. Here's an example. This looks worse than it is. It really does. That ladder is perched up there safely. The bottom of it can't go anywhere, can't kick out, can't go up, down, sideways, anywhere. Plus, I'm not going to get on that big ladder until I get to the top. So I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, let's get to work. I had to cut this one down to 40.5 inches, by the way. So it's a little bit lighter. What do you think? One side done, one to go. I am moving at a snail's pace though. I'm telling you, if I was getting paid by the hour, I'd be wealthy. So next, this side. I kind of have a plan now based on the other side and what I can and can't do. We'll get done eventually. Okay, we're back at it. We're gonna get this episode done one way or another. Got to get that sheathing up on this side, and then that's it. And then you guys can get up and get something to eat and get a drink of water. I know you've been waiting patiently. You're almost there. Hold on. We'll get it done. All right, let's get... Oh, by the way, I still haven't got my official Life on the Moose t-shirts finished yet. Soon, real soon. I know about 1,000 of you have commented that you're really ready to buy it like yesterday. So I'll work on it and we'll get it out as soon as we can. Maybe get some Life on the Moose hats. Maybe some Life on the Moose, I don't know. What else should we get? So hopefully the Life on the Moose merch is coming right up. Moose merch. Hey, that has a nice ring to it. Moose merch. Have you gotten your moose merch yet? Did you do your moose merch shopping for Christmas? Here are those clips I was talking about earlier. I think they're a code issue. I'm not sure with residential. It might be 1 per 24-inch spacing, but I'm not sure. So I put 2, just a little more support. And then here's an example of poor planning. I should have had that 2x4 lowered 3 inches and then I wouldn't have to have any clips at all. But you know what? Live and learn. We'll get by. Just like that. It was so easy. No, it wasn't easy at all. You guys at home are going, I'm not building a 12-12 pitch roof. Yeah, I don't blame you. Now, it looks good. It's going to be great for the weather. It's going to be great for the headroom inside. It was a bear. I'm not going to lie, it was a bear. And I have a confession to make. Maybe I shouldn't tell you. Should I tell you? I don't know. I don't want to ruin all my credibility with you guys. All right, here it is. The roof isn't perfectly square. It's off about 1/2 inch. I know, it's embarrassing. We'll make up for it. The steel will cover it up. It's up there. It's done. I'm happy. Holy cow, that was a job. It's looking good though. It's looking like a cabin. So the next tough job is gonna be putting steel on that thing. How am I gonna do that? I don't know for sure. I really don't. Yeah, drop me a comment. Let me know what you would do. I got to put tar paper on first, unroll that. It's going to be a challenge, I'm not going to lie. Not only is this physically grueling, it's also mentally grueling because I just have to be so careful. Make sure all my ladders are tied down. Make sure I'm not going to fall off to my death on camera. I don't want to do that. I don't want to get hurt. All right. Thank you guys for sticking around and watching me put that sheathing on that ridiculous roof. Times like this I go, why the heck did I do that? But it's going to be worth it. Let me know what you think. Well, I'm out of here. This is a wrap. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate you tuning in again. Come back next week and see what the heck I do with that steel. I'm kind of anxious to know what I'm going to do with that steel also. We'll figure it out one way or another. Okay, we'll see you next week. Take care.